And Happy New Year. Welcome to the Kevin Dunn Show. It's 2016, and when the new year turns over, you know what time it is. It's tax time. We have a special guest in the audience today who's going to educate you, inspire you, and inform you about taxes. When we come back from the commercial break, we're going to be introducing to you our special guest on the Kevin Dunn Show.
The Kevin Dunn Show, brought to you in part by Rogers Barbecue, LaGrange, Georgia. Rogers Barbecue in LaGrange has been locally owned and operated since 1945. They have daily lunch specials for only $6.62, and that includes your drink and dessert. Tuesday nights from 5 to close is all-you-can-eat ribs. Thursday, Rogers has all-you-can-eat catfish, which, along with their stew, is famous throughout the region, and they proudly serve only U.S. farm-raised catfish. Dine in or use their convenient drive-thru, Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 117 New Franklin Road in LaGrange. Come join the crowd at Rogers Barbecue.
The name Good Old Country Buffet speaks for itself. When you come in to dine in at our family-oriented restaurant, that's what you will get, a Good Old Country Buffet. Our menu at Good Old Country Buffet changes out daily, offering you a wide variety of choices 7 days a week. Come and taste made-from-scratch recipes with over 100 items that are freshly prepared on a daily basis, along with extraordinary desserts. If you value family, if you value good food, you will value Good Old Country Buffet. So give Grandmother a week off and come eat with us at the Good Old Country Buffet. Life's dirty, play clean. SOS Cleaners, locally owned and operated in LaGrange with over 54 years of experience, is a full-service dry cleaners, and all cleaning is done on premises using environmentally friendly cleaning processes and practices. SOS Cleaners specializes in shirt laundry, alterations, furs and leather, formals, odor removal, wedding gown preservation, and fire restoration. We have a fully functional drive-through, and same-day service is available upon request. Also, give them a call to find out their weekly specials. Life's dirty, play clean. And welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show. Our special guest today is Mrs. Gwen Harris Brooks. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming in. I know you're getting ready to go into a busy season.
Prayerfully.
Prayerfully. Okay. You are a tax preparer, and you've been doing that for many years. What made you want to go into this line of work?
Well, I was working at Fairfax Mill, and I knew a lot of people that tried to teach us how to do taxes. One of them was your dad, taught us how to do our own taxes while in high school.
Oh, okay.
So I decided to take the H&R Block income tax course to actually help some of the employees that were working with me at the plant. And I just kept doing that. I started doing taxes in my house at night with carbon paper, making carbon copies.
Carbon paper.
That's what made me start to do, that was my first tax paper on carbon paper.
Now, have you always been a numbers person? Do you like numbers?
Well, yes and no. I'm a people person.
People person.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I like to help people.
Okay. Now, give us the total amount of years. How many years have you been preparing taxes, doing taxes altogether? Probably
about 30 years now. I started doing taxes probably around 1981, 82, somewhere in there. And then I've been actually in the building on my own in the tax office, say about 20 years.
20 years.
I moved it out of my house probably about 20 years.
Okay, and that's a good thing. You probably can't do taxes in your house now, can you?
No.
All right. You own your own business,
Yes.
Express Tax. So
Yes.
What made you come up with the name Express Tax?
Well, back when I started doing taxes and I moved to the office where I'm presently located, we had the where you could get the rapid rebate, the rapid tax. So by being able to get a rapid refund, I thought express tax would be a very good idea to let people know that they could get their money quick.
Okay, all right. Now, you've been a business owner for so many years. How have you maintained to stay in business all of these years with all of the changes the IRS has implemented year after year after year?
Education.
Okay.
You got to go to school. I'm a member of the National Association for Professional Tax Preparers, and I go to about 2 classes a year, and I go to my software training classes. You have to stay educated to stay abreast on doing taxes so that you can be truthful to your clients, and when you tell them something, you can tell them the truth.
So you contribute that to education?
Yes.
Education, okay. Now, why is it important to have a reliable, trustworthy tax preparer doing your taxes? Why is that important?
It's important because you got to know who you are trusting your personal information with. And that's what lead to sometimes tax fraud, because sometimes people will go from one tax preparer to another tax preparer trying to get more money, but that too is leaving your information at different places where people can use this information to file tax or return on you, and you're not even being aware of it, because they have everything that they need to do that. But the IRS is making that a little bit more difficult now.
So you mean to tell me that identity fraud can take place with you going around to different tax preparers?
Yes, that's possible. Because once a person get your personal information, your Social Security number, your ID, and they can use that to actually file a tax return unaware to you. But like I said, now IRS and the federal government is making that more difficult.
Okay. Now, Gwen, I'm going to say in the last 5 years, it may be longer, I've noticed a lot of tax preparers are getting caught defrauding the government. And I know they see it happening to other people.
Yes.
Why do tax preparers think that they can get away with this? This is the IRS.
I don't know, but you know, it hurts the taxpayer because they are the ones that have to pay the money back. And the IRS now, with the new age of computer information and everything, it's going to be really, really hard for anybody to do fraud. That's what they're working on now. And it's going to help the taxpayers. And that's what I'm about, is helping the taxpayer. You can, you know, when you are helping people and you tell them the truth, you can tell them the same thing over and over. But if you don't tell them the truth, then you got to think about what you told them. So make sure that when you tell them something, you're telling them the truth. And when they leave out of that office, you know, and they know that you have done everything you could do to help them get all they can get back.
Okay. And you're kind of like, even though you're more so in the office the first 4 or 5 months of the year, but you kind of assist your clients year round.
I'm open year round.
Year round, and that's a good thing.
We're open every day during tax season, and then during the summer months, we're open 3 to 4 days a week, but I leave a number where they can call me, and then if I need to go into the office to work with a problem that they may have, then I'm able to go in and meet them. Okay.
Another thing I'm seeing, Gwen, a lot of tax offices popping up left and right.
Yes.
Houses, storefronts, you name it. How is it so easy to open up a tax office?
Well, now it's not, because it used to be that all you got to do is just set up, get your tax ID number, or use your Social Security number. But now they have to go through a screening.
Okay.
Same thing again. You got to make sure you do background checks in order to get a tax ID number to do taxes now.
Okay.
So that's going to help a lot too.
Okay. Now, going back to defrauding, taxpayers or whatnot, and when someone, you defraud the IRS, you get your client a huge return back. Okay, you get caught, tax preparer get caught. Who is responsible for paying that money back to the IRS? Is it the client or the tax preparer?
The client.
Oh, the client.
And the client has to repay the money, and they'll repay the money and a very huge penalty. The penalty comes because they feel like you're knowingly accepting this money and you weren't supposed to. So that's why the extra penalty comes in at. if somebody make an error on your taxes, that's different than you knowing that you weren't supposed to get this money back. That's the difference.
It's different. Wow, it's, like I said, I'm just amazed at all this. It seems like it keeps happening. But you say it's slowing down.
It's slowing down a lot because the federal government putting new laws in. Eventually, we're going to have laws in where they're going to the employers are going to have to code the W-2s. And the only way that you can file a tax return, your W-2 got to be coded. Some of them are going to be coming out this year, and if we get a W-2 that's coded, we got to put the code in. If somebody gets caught up in a fraud with the IRS, the only way they can file taxes is with a PIN number. Each year they get a PIN number, and they have to use that PIN number because they've been caught up with a situation of fraud. Somebody filed a return on them or somebody stole their Social Security number.
Okay, all right. Now, how many different ways can you actually file now? I know you can, do they still do the rapid, electronic?
No, the rapid is not legal anymore. They can do electronically filing, but you can also still do like 10 days, get your money like 10 days if you don't have the money up front. Tax preparers have a bank that they use that will loan you the money until IRS put it into their account.
Okay, all right. So now, are you finding more people are using this route? If you had, and I know you don't know, if you had to give a percentage of how many people were just sending their stuff through the mail and coming back, are a lot of people still doing that now?
Very few, because when we're in school, the IRS is telling us to really, really educate people and encourage them to file electronically. They really want you to file electronically. If you send in a paper return, you got to have a reason for sending in that paper return. And it's on the IRS website where you can find the information and the form that you have to fill out if you do a paper return.
Okay. Now, Gwen, if someone's watching you now, say a young, aspiring business owner who seek to do taxes and they want to do things the right way, if you could give them a little advice, just starting out with all the experience you have, what would your experience that you can share with them starting out?
They need to take a class on preparing income tax. That's the first thing they need to do, is go to school, find a good class, and get educated on how to prepare taxes the correct way. And then when they do go in business, make sure that they treat their clients so their clients will return to them to get their taxes done. And that's by being truthful to them.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. We're going to pause and take a quick commercial break. The second part of the show, we're going to be asking Ms. Gwen Harris-Brooks some actual informative questions about, filing taxes. And when we come back from the break, we're going to be starting out talking about, are there any major changes taking place in this new year? More of Gwen Harris-Brooks when we come back from the commercial break.
Rogers Barbecue in LaGrange has been locally owned and operated since 1945. They have daily lunch specials for only $6.62, and that includes your drink and dessert. Tuesday nights from 5 to close is all-you-can-eat ribs. Thursday, Rogers has all-you-can-eat catfish, which, along with their stew, is famous throughout the region, and they proudly serve only U.S. farm-raised catfish. Dine in or use their convenient drive-thru, Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 117 New Franklin Road in LaGrange. Come join the crowd at Rogers Barbecue.
Coldwell Banker Spinks Brown Duran Realtors is the market leader in residential and commercial sales. With over 40 years in the community and 2 offices located in LaGrange and West Point, our knowledgeable and professional sales agents can assist you in both Georgia and Alabama. Whether purchasing or selling a home, commercial property, or land, Coldwell Banker Spinks Brown Duran Realtors is the obvious choice to serve you. View our listings online at www.spinksbrownduran.com and contact us today so we can help with all of your real estate needs.
Welcome to America's Mattress, the area's largest mattress showroom within 50 miles, and it's located right here on the Parkway in LaGrange, Georgia. Here at America's Mattress, we have 7 different iComfort memory foam mattresses on display, 7 different iSeries hybrids on display, 7 different Perfect Sleepers on display, and 17 other models by Serta on display. We also have 6 different adjustable bases on display. America's Mattress carries the Dr. Green that is designed for people with back problems. America's Mattress also carries both mattresses that our Consumer Report recommends as the best innerspring and best memory foam. So for the best mattresses at the lowest prices, shop America's Mattress here in LaGrange, Georgia on the Lafayette Parkway.
And welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show. Just in case you're just joining us, our special guest today is Gwen Harris Brooks of Express Tax Service. Did I say that right? Express Tax Service. Express Tax Service. And she's been educating us about the importance of having someone reliable and trustworthy doing your taxes, which she is. There's no way you can be in business as long as you've been in and not be reliable and trustworthy. Now, right. Tell us, are there any major changes taking place this year of 2016?
Well, every year bring about new changes, but this year, one thing that taxpayers need to really look at is the Obamacare. Last year, the penalty was $90 plus. This year, if you don't have health coverage, there will be, it's going to double. Whatever you were charged last year, the premiums are going to double if you don't have health care. And a lot of people say last year, if you did not have health care and you put on your return that you did have health care, they're sending letters out now on people that said they had health care but didn't have it or didn't record it correctly. So if you get a letter, get with your tax preparer, get it filled out, and get it mailed back in. You may have to pay, you may not, but make sure you get that done because this year it will double. That's one of the major things that we're looking at.
Now, with that penalty being enforced on you, did they charge you interest, or will they charge you interest on that?
Right now, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think they're charging any interest on it. They're just doubling the fee for you not having health care.
Wow. Is there anything else that's just a major thing? Can you think of anything else?
That's one of the major changes that they're going to do. And my software company is allowing us that parents that have children getting ready to go to college, they're going to automatically fill out the FICA form. It will be automatically filled out, and you won't have to worry about going back to your tax preparer to get a copy. If you lost your copy of your taxes, you got to call them to get it again. It's going to already be done when you get your taxes filed. So that's another thing that's they're adding. So that's great.
That's great. Okay. All right. I'm finding out also more and more people who are not filing a tax return, and they haven't filed one in years. Just say if a person has not filed a tax return in 10 years, is there a red flag in the IRS that will eventually let them know that, hey, this person hadn't filed?
What will happen, their employer, whoever they're working for, when they give them a W-2 or a 1099, that employer also files that with IRS. Okay. So IRS know the people that have filed and have not filed. What they'll do when they do catch up with it, they'll start writing you and telling you about filing. But you're gonna have to file all 10 years. But if you do a refund, you will only get the refund for 3 years because you have 3 years to amend. So you will have to file all the years with the penalty, and then you can, if you're owed a refund, you will only get 3 years refund if you were eligible for it.
So it's not, it's a big deal, so it's not really, you just have to pay a penalty.
You have to pay a penalty. And this according to your income, because if you're a high income person, it could mean a stiffer penalty and jail time. It's just according to the income and how large amount of money that they're talking about, because they will get you. Eventually, you will get caught.
Eventually. So you say you have a 3-year, I guess, grace period as you...
No, not really a grace period. It's just that you have 3 years that if you are owed a refund, that you can get that refund. But they can go back 10 years in order to ask you to file taxes or to investigate something that you have filed. But you will only get a refund if it's within 3 years.
3 years. Okay. All right. Is it better for a person to itemize or use the standard deduction?
Well, everybody won't qualify to itemize. You got to have a large amount of interest income from being a homeowner, or you got to have an astronomical medical bill that the insurance did not pay for. You have your tithes and donations that you give. So it's according to your income, it's according to your deductions as to whether you can itemize or not itemize. Everybody's not going to qualify to itemize, but that's left up to your preparer to tell you whether you qualify to be do itemization or whether you don't.
Okay. Now, when someone files head of household, what is head of household? What is considered head of
When
household?
you file head of household, you got to have a dependent child, a dependent parent that live in your house, and you got to take care of that dependent. You got to have the utilities in your name. You got to have the mortgage in your name, or the rental that you pay, whoever your landlord is, got to know that your name is the one that's on the lease. So everybody that say you're head of household is not head of household. The only person that you can claim as a dependent that do not live in your house is a parent. That's the only one that you can claim to say you're a head of household that don't live in the house with you, to say that you are carrying that person as a dependent to be a head of household. Other than that, you are a single taxpayer.
Okay. Now, and then you have two items. You have married filing jointly and married filing single. Is that true?
Married filing separate.
Separate.
You have married filing joint, and you have married filing separate. Sometimes it may be better for a married couple to do married filing single. Married filing separate because of their income, or because of deductions, or because of school loans and things like that. They live in the same house, but they can still do married filing separate. It's just according to the person that prepare their taxes, tell them the best way to file. Is it best for them to file jointly, or is it best for them to file married filing separate?
Now, does one bring in more of a return than the other, or there's no really way to just say that?
It's just, you just have to look at it and see, because what a taxpayer want to know is the best way that's going to be best for them to file to get a refund of what it's going to make them owe. And a married couple living together in the same household can file married filing separate if it's going to benefit them.
Okay.
Yeah, they can do that.
Okay. Now, but being single, now explain, and people, I know single means single,
Yes.
but just in case you want to educate our audience on what filing single actually means, give us some insight on that.
Okay, if you have a child and you're taking care of that child living with you in the house with you and your parents, you are a single taxpayer.
Okay.
You claim your dependent, you claim yourself, but the house utilities is not in your name. The house, the landlord, your name is not on the lease.
Okay.
Then you are a single taxpayer. If you live by yourself, or you and your children, and you have dependent children, and you have a lease or you own a home, then you be head of household.
Okay.
But a head of household, you got to have all of these things if you get audited to show the IRS that you are head of household or you're single.
Okay. Now, speaking of being audited, if one of your clients gets audited, what role do you play in that audit, if any?
When they get audited, they come in and let me know they got a letter from IRS. We pull their file and we get the information that they brought in that we put on their return. And we send this information in. If they don't have all of the information, say they have a dependent child, and I know the client.
Right.
I know the child go to school.
Right.
I know where the child go to school. So I don't have to ask them that when they come in because I've done their taxes long enough to know. Well, then if they get audited, then we got to start getting this information up. I would tell them what they need to do to show that this is their child. The child live with them, and the child, the resident is at school is the same thing they put on tax return.
Okay.
And that's all we got to do.
Okay. So basically, when your clients get audited, you don't leave them out.
No, no, I work with them, and I work with them all the way to the end. That's why I leave a number at my office on my answering service that if they need to get in touch with me during the summer, we can, and we'll go in and work it out, and go with them all the way to the end. And by me being a licensed taxpayer, I can talk to IRS for them.
Okay, all right. Now, go back to this thing we call, well, not thing, but we know dependents. That's a big worry during tax season.
Yes.
What's the maximum amount of dependents someone can claim on their taxes?
It's not a limit. If you got 5 children, you claim 5 children. If you got 10 children, you claim 10 children. And that way, you can't sell children. You can't, because if your taxpayer tells you if you don't you got 3 children, you only need 3, you can give somebody else 5. That's a no-no. Claim your kids because there's benefits in claiming them.
So people actually are selling. That's true,
against
isn't it?
the law. I don't know.
I've heard that.
That's probably out now because they are so, the federal government know, where these children are, who these children belong to. So it's going to be hard for people to do that. And, people should not get caught up with selling children during tax season because it's just against the law.
Okay.
So if they're doing that, they need to stop.
Okay. All right. Time for one last question here. So, and this probably could have been included in the first part of the segment, but I'm a tax preparer, and you come to me, and you heard that I could get you at least a $6,000 return. What would your question be to me? Not really what would your question be to me, but how can people what should people do if somebody promised somebody that?
They need to look at what they're putting on their tax return to do that. If they don't have the taxes taken out on their W-2, if they don't have the dependents that will give them earned income credit, and the earned income credit is going to depend on their income, and if they really need to know that the dependent that they're claiming is their legal child and they live in the house with them. These things that they really need to know before they leave that tax preparer's office is everything that you've done legit where I can get this money back.
Okay.
That's what they need to know.
Okay. All right, Mrs. Gwen Harris-Brooks, we thank you so much for being a guest on the Kevin Dunn Show.
Thank you. Enjoy coming.
Thank you so much. And remember, if there's a topic you would like to see discussed on the Kevin Dunn Show, please email us at thekevindunnshow@wjcntv.com. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day.